So I just saw the movie The Samaritan. It's one of those sleeper hits along with Wrath of Man, but this one will probably be for another time. It's not a huge release and I haven't really heard about it before it came out. Like video games, it seems that avoiding big budget projects will be your go-to for getting good content and just going for things you've never heard about. Well, I don't know how small this actually can be, since it's a Stallone production on Amazon, but let's consider it independent because I feel like making a huge stretch. The premise of the story is pretty simple. A young boy discovers that his neighbor is the long-time thought to be dead hero, the Samaritan. You can guess the rest. Hero is forced to come out of retirement, mentors the young boy, etc. It's not particularly deep, but not everything needs to be. You'd fry your brain if all you were watching was Kubrick. It's a good, yeah, movie kind of feeling. You feel narratively satisfied. There's some action, there's some setup and payoff. The structure is functional. There's some lessons here and there too, and the characters feel like a reflection of real life without going too hard into lessons or acknowledging what they are. I especially like that the movie had the courage to address the bum single mother, but more on that later. This project really feels like the world from Stallone's point of view, a probably traditional Italian American. This has the same vibe as the last Rambo movie. It's the cinematic form of your dad's advice. The movie still has a certain style of its own, however. It's not just a retread of classics or superhero movies. Here's a couple of things I liked. The world has this weird late 90s, early 2000s style. There's tube TVs, flip phones, arcade cabinets, and people wear baggy clothes. The hero actually has limits in his powers. They consider the immense energy that has to be burned to heal quickly like Wolverine. The characters are actual archetypes that you would see in real life. They don't get over-explained, but in 10 years, if you saw this as a kid, you're going to understand who these characters were. They're people you met in real life. Which leads me to my big point. Again, there's a huge discrepancy between the scores of the journalist and the audience, and yes, it's because it's fun. I mentioned the single mother being incompetent earlier. She, by her own admission, chose a bad man who left. Therefore, she's alone raising that child, and when that child starts to rebel, she doesn't have the masculine authority that the father has, i.e., being able to beat your ass. She struggles to keep a roof on their head because she doesn't have the high amount of testosterone needed to maintain a constant work schedule of many hours, and taking care of a child at the same time, an issue rarely seen in single fathers. It might frustrate the modern sensitivities of sycophants and the hooga booga hive mind of society, but it's something that happens in real life. As the rioters destroying small businesses and young men committing heinous acts because they lack purpose or a father figure. Of course, in the context of today, you're not allowed to address those issues because those issues benefit those who lead, and they're sycophants who try to shut you down are simply useful idiots. Do not forget that you also have a straight white man being a decent father figure and fighting crime. He confronts the rioters of Burn, Murder, Loot, trying to start a revolution. And as you know, we're not allowed to confront criminals. It's not like they have urgency as people. It's the system's fault. So we should let them run amok until the system can fix itself. Obviously. Honestly, the movie isn't fantastic, but a 78 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes says it all. It's better than it's good because it's not woke. God knows that's not a standard, but it's not mind-blowing. As mentioned before, it doesn't need to be. It's a solid little adventure that's quite digestible, and I like it as such. Go watch it.